Hello, my name is Hank Frank. I'm in my third year here at East Castle. I find it a wonderful place to live and work and enjoy the company of all the people, as well as the attention of the staff, which is professional and loving. As I'm here to read some of my poetry for you today. On my background, I'm not only a poet, but a playwright. I was a city Milwaukee alderman for 27 years, and during that time I wrote 5 plays, professionally produced, performed at the Milwaukee Rep, Milwaukee Chamber Theater. I also wrote a book of poetry in 2014, which is available at forget the name, Amazon. I'm going to read for you 5 poems from this collection. I hope you enjoy them, and thank you for your attention. The first is called Remembering Old Mac. Prologue. Old Mac used to come into my uncle's tavern on Sundays when I attended bar. He'd get to the bar before noon for a free Sunday morning drink. After 3 wines, invariably, Old Mac would start to reminisce about the great adventure he had at Copenhagen, getting laid in Copenhagen at age 62. Of course, getting laid in Copenhagen wasn't free. That's not the point. But now Old Mac is long dead, and I'm long past 62. That poem was based on the fact that I attended bar at my uncle's tavern on 28th and Michigan. And some Sunday mornings, I opened at 10, and if you came in and ordered a drink, the second drink was free. It was a tradition in some of the taverns in those neighborhoods in those days. From the corner of 28th and Michigan, I could see down to 30th Street where St. Rose's was, St. Rose's Winery. And people would come walk up to the tavern, 1 or 2 at a time, for their Sunday morning free drink. Second poem I'm going to read for you is called Paramedics. I was a city Milwaukee alderman for 27 years before I retired in the year 2000. And one of the things that I did was reorganize the fire department. For that effort, I was awarded the fire department's award for outstanding service. The only alderman to receive that award. I'm very proud of that. But during that time, I spent an awful lot of time with the firefighters, listening to their stories, as well as working on the reorganization of the fire department. This poem is called Paramedics. The call came in. Checked for a pulse. We found a face like stone, while she lay upon his chest, blowing air into a cone. 73 and naked, both a wondrous sight, the wrinkles spread across white sheets, an afternoon delight. We groped for about an hour, and he was well. On the bedside table, bottle of Viagra and strawberry gel. She dressed. We muttered sympathies, noted a gold cross beneath her chin, assured her it wasn't a sin, but couldn't wait to tell our mates we found him in a grin. I don't hear any laughter. The next poem is called Places. It's based on my stroll along the Corniche in Alexandria, Egypt. I spent time there and had a wonderful time. It's a historic place, the burial site of Alexander the Great, whose tomb they never found, but it's a wonderful place. I wrote this poem. Entitled Embroidered Red Peacocks. At the expat bar in Alexandria, she was the first woman in country to touch him, to shake his hand. Despite the orange-pleasing bar glow, her eyebrows formed an unattractive V, reminding him of that Mexican artist who slept with Trotsky. As they walked along the Corniche, a passing cab driver said something. "Bastard," she shouted back playfully against the sound of the surf. In front of the Hotel Cecil, she fluffed her matted hair once before entering, but Arab style, kept a woolen scarf tightly around her neck. As they stepped into the bright foyer, a befriended doorman tried to tell him with his eyes that the Persian scarf with its embroidered peacocks hit an Adam's apple. That poem was published in Quantum Leap in May of 2009. This poem is a reflection of the time I spent in Vietnam. I can still see Captain Cross sitting across from me, telling me the story, which I put into a poem. The poem was published by New River Poets Anthology in Florida and won third place that year. Buffalo Eyes. We live at a rocky place called Monkey Mountain. Below us there are rice fields and a few villages left. The men drink out of red and white Budweiser cans. They whisper in the morning light that I'm a pussy. One man is missing. Yesterday he triggered a 105 shell buried in a dike. We put his parts into a plastic bag and onto a helicopter. A boy hauling water was taken from the back of a buffalo. The boy said he didn't know who planted the mine. A tour sergeant fired his .45 alongside the boy's ear. He was now deaf there for life. We waited for the boy's head to clear. 2 GIs emptied their clips into the buffalo. The buffalo fell to its knees with 36 red holes in it. I watched its eyes die. The boy said again he didn't know who planted the mine. The sergeant put his .45 alongside the other ear. I said, enough. On the horizon, some farmers were watching. Today, the interpreter delivered a crumpled note. Mama-san say, "Local thank you to GI, say number 2 here for second son." It was not signed. It's dark now on Monkey Mountain. They tell me tomorrow we must walk the dikes again. I see buffalo eyes and all the rocks looking at me. That was published, as I said, in New River Poets Anthology in Florida and won third prize. The last poem I'm going to read to you is called Memories. Memories. A fading date, December 16th, 1952. The brown ammunition case contained an empty M1 clip, cross-rifled infantry pin, tan pistol belt, a blue and white Korean conflict ribbon, and a letter dated December 16, 1952. Mike wrote the boy about the cold, about a medal, said he wanted to be home for Christmas. The printing of the letter was slanted. Dolly was Mike's girl. She was also the babysitter. The boy's father always walked Dolly home. One night the boy heard all the shouting, heard that Dolly wrote Mike a big lie, his parents divorcing. Mike came home in spring, married Dolly, drank. The boy's father left and stopped sending money. Dolly told Mike the truth and left for Little Rock. The boy never saw his half-brother again, ever. That summer, Mike shot himself in the temple. The boy found the ammunition case in the attic after his mother died. A garbage man uses the ammunition case when he goes coon hunting now. The boy now keeps the folded letter in his wallet with the fading date, December 16, 1952. That's, as Bugs Bunny says, that's all, folks. And I'll put up here for you the copy of the book, which is available on Amazon, that I had published in 2014. Thank you for your attention. I have 54 poems in this book. I'd be happy to read more for you if powers that be ask me. Thank you.